Hello, everybody. My name is Seth Lieber, and I am the Visitor Services Coordinator with Southern Indiana Tourism. Today, I've got Zach Maxey from the Levin Bakery with me. Excited to talk with him about all things SoIn and what they are doing in your Southern Indiana neighborhoods. Zach, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
My first question, honestly, is what is Levin?
Levin is that's actually a frequently question.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So me and my wife, being that the main structure of the entire thing is that we're doing baking. Everything in baking has a leavening agent, whether that's baking soda, baking powder, yeast, sourdough. All of these have something to do with a chemical reaction to cause stuff to rise. Yeah.
So, for people who may not know where are you guys located?
So we're located at 1515 East Market Street. It's in Uptown, New Albany. We're right down the street from downtown where there's a bunch of life. They just got done doing harvest, which was a great time. I know they had a great turnout. A lot of our friends that had booths over there had a great time as well.
You know, we were talking earlier, and one of the things that I think that is actually most interesting, you said we didn't really do harvest, but you really were doing harvest.
Oh,
you were like the support system behind harvest, which I love. So what all were you kind of doing behind the scenes? You had a lot of stuff going on.
Well, so our bakery is, it's not just a bakery. It is a bistro. So we do breakfast and lunch, excuse me. But we also have 10 wholesale accounts. But also what happened is, when harvest comes around, a lot of these businesses that are either coming from close out of town, whether they're in relative cities that are near us, or just in the vicinity, of course, that are going to be at harvest, they will reach out to us a month and a half, sometimes 2 months in advance, say, hey, I need some bread. Can you fulfill, 1,000 rolls? Or this case happened to be 600 cookies that my wife and her team just cranked out. And then we had naan, we had buns and everything like that we were putting out for everyone at harvest, on top of our regular service and wholesale. So there was a lot going on. Although we weren't present with a booth, we were present with our goods.
Yeah, so harvest was fueled by the bakery in many ways.
Yes, very.
I'm from Southern Indiana. I was born in New Albany, went away for a long time, and came back. Mm-hmm. Now, I've seen it change. I have one picture of it, but you're not from this area.
Nope.
So where are you from, and how did you end up in Southern Indiana? I think you're bringing something completely different because of where you're from.
Yeah. So me and my wife were from Bakersfield, California.
Completely opposite of New Albany, Indiana, safe to say. Just slightly different.
Yeah. So we're from a little, I guess it's not a little town, but comparatively to California, many of the other cities that people know of, it's a small town. Not many people know too much about it unless they've been to California. It's an agricultural farm town. It's an oil field town. And so when my wife and I were going to school, we went to culinary school and classically trained and whatnot. We did a lot of stuff in our career, but we just wanted a little bit of a break and a chance to do our own thing. And so one thing that my wife and I were trying to go for was that, we don't want to bring anything too new. We want to bring stuff that people are relevant with.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
They can kind of assimilate with, stuff that they've grown up with. We're just going to add a little bit of a California flair to it. So some of the stuff is like a wet burrito. People have had a breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
But on Sundays, we do this awesome wet burrito where we make our own salsa roja, and we make this thing look beautiful. And it's just this monstrous plate. And it's just small stuff like that. But what's cool about what we do is we get to change it. We focus on seasonality. So one of our other big things was that we wanted to showcase the fact that, you don't have to be from California or an agricultural area to have fresh food. Yeah. So one thing we wanted to really do is bring the California flair, but showcase the indigenous food that's in the area. So we've partnered up with a lot of farmers.
That's awesome.
We partnered up with a lot of people who know how to forage in the area. So yeah, our menu is always cycling. There might be some stuff that are staples that don't change, but we always are bringing in something new. And that was one thing that we loved about California, was that there was always a new attraction or new food or new something to do. There was constantly something to keep you stimulated, something for you and your family, whether it be you and your wife wanting to spend a night out by themselves, or if you have your family and you want to go out and spend a couple bucks and just have a good time. That was one of those things that we admired, and we kind of want to start bringing to the area. throughout the week, if you haven't tried our egg white frittata,
Okay.
I know it sounds a little intimidating because it's just egg whites, but it's not just egg whites.
What's different about it then?
We've got some fresh greens. We're getting some awesome local asparagus. We're getting some fresh spinach that's grown locally.
That's cool.
And then we're throwing in some bell pepper as well that we're getting from some local people, actually in our neighborhood that have gardens that are just bringing them to us.
That's really cool.
That's really cool. We make all of our sausages in house. So from our breakfast sausage to our chorizo to our chicken sausage, and in fact, the chicken sausage is in that dish. And those spices that are in that chicken, that chicken sausage just kind of bring everything together.
Right.
And then a little bit of melted pecorino, Parmesan.
Okay.
All that.
I know where I'm going for breakfast tomorrow. Okay, solved.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Well, I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed it. I've learned a lot actually today. I mean, seriously, it's amazing to hear somebody who is from a different place come find this as home and then contribute to the community, and that's really what I think Southern Indiana is becoming, and you guys are a massive part of that.
Well, thank you.
So again, Levin Bakery, head there in Uptown, breakfast and lunch. They'll see you there soon, and you're sleeping on the French dip, right? Okay, there it is. Hey everybody, Seth, and I'm back with the second interview of the day. I'm with Levon Carter from the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and they have an event coming up that we'd love to tell you more about.
So on October 21st, we have our Out of the Darkness Community Walk. Our mission at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is to bring hope to those affected by suicide. So in our Out of the Darkness Community Walk event is our biggest fundraising event. We hold 9 throughout the state of Kentucky. Our one in Southern Indiana will be at Indiana University Southeast on October 21st. Registration time starts at 9 a.m. The walk time starts at 10. And it's just an event to come out. And if you're a loss survivor, if you're having suicidal ideations, if you're battling with mental health, it's a way to get connected to not only resources, but also get connected to a community to let you know that you're not alone.
I think this is insanely important. Honestly, I always like to open up. I like to be a little bit vulnerable. But, I'm 38. I've got 2 kids. I'm working full time. I'm looking for childcare. And I think for the first time in years, I think I've really felt down. You know what I mean? Like, people don't think about that, like adults and parents, and how challenging it can be in this world.
And it's okay to have those thoughts because we all deal with mental health. So it's okay to not be okay. Sometimes when life gets to lifing, we need outside support and we need outside connections. We need outside resources because life does happen.
Life gets to life. Seriously, you cannot plan A to B in life. That's not the way. It is a zigzag. That's incredible because the only way we kind of break generational trauma is starting with something like this. I mean, are there certain populations that maybe you guys are seeing right now that are sort of affected?
Yes. The LGBTQ community, our youth, we're seeing raising suicide rates, and also the Black community as well. But a lot of the statistics don't get reported because deaths by suicide a lot of times will get categorized as something else.
Wow.
Whether it be going to gun violence, or overdose, or something else. So it won't, even though that was their lethal means that they decided to take their lives with, it won't go down in our data as that.
So I know there is this event going on. I think you guys have another event that you might be going on as well.
Yes. So on November 18th, we have our International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day. This year, it will be held from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it will be at Life Springs, 404 Spring Street here in Jeffersonville, Indiana.
That's great.
So if you're a loss survivor, you're struggling, please come out and get support.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here. This is an incredibly important thing to know about. And if you are someone who feels like you need someone to talk to and needs to reach out for help, please contact the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We all care about you. We're all a community, and there are people there for you. Important to know, I always like to remind people, if you have an event coming up, submit your event on the Go Southern Indiana page. It's absolutely free to do. It's an amazing resource for something like this because we are all about supporting your community, and we want these events to get the information out because you never know who that person might be who just needs a little bit of love, right?
You never know.
You never know. Okay. Well, appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming in. And again, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and their walk, October 21st at IUS.
And please register at afsp.org/IUS.
There it is. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.